on Salvage Antiques.
I haven't said this in a very long time. Take me to the barbers.
In Chipping Norton, Drew's in for a surprise round the back of a barber shop.
Oh, wow. Barbering, haircutting, antiques.
It's not the norm.
They're equally cutthroat, though, aren't they?
He shares some words of wisdom with a young dealer at a charity in Liverpool.
That's better than normal, that one.
I'd be looking to sell it for maybe $250-ish.
That's not a bargain, you're giving it away. I mean, you could get more for that.
And he gets a bit salty in Anglesey.
You don't throw anything away.
I'm not very good at throwing things away. What do you call that kind of chair?
Well,
I need to
unsaleable.
Drew Pritchard is one of Britain's leading decorative salvage dealers.
Whoa, this is great. What a wonderful house.
He's on a hunt for weird and wonderful objects.
I'm like that. Oh, it's a stonker and it's really beautiful.
It's a brilliant piece of engineering.
In his search for treasure,
Wow, it's hot in here.
Oh, now you're talking.
he bargains hard.
200 quid. I've got to ask.
And there's nothing he won't buy.
Sold.
With help from Rebecca
The money's in that one.
Absolutely.
Well, I never.
and a team of renovators,
Can see some gold.
he transforms thousands of items, from junk to gems. Now that Drew's shopfront is entirely online, it's never been more important to stand out by finding eye-catching, rare and enticing items. Trading for over 30 years, Drew knows the best places to look are not always your typical hunting grounds.
If somebody says, do you want to come to XYZ? I'll go. You know, it could be, you know, a quarry up the side of a mountain. It could be a burnt down castle. It doesn't matter what it is, we'll go. Because you never know. And that thing, that old adage that I really love, you've got to put yourself in the way of luck.
Always open to new invitations, Drew and T are heading nearly 200 miles southeast to the Cotswolds on a visit that promises to be a cut above the rest.
T, I haven't said this in a very long time. Take me to the barbers. We're off to meet a guy who runs Oliveri Barbers. And apparently, in the back of this barber shop, there's an antique shop, and he's a dealer as well.
Yeah, that's an interesting mix.
The last time I paid somebody to cut my hair was 1999.
And how have you survived?
My hair helped by half of it falling out.
Did you do it on purpose? It's been a bit tight at the time.
My hair fell out when I found out I was going to be a dad. I was so stressed out.
Located in West Oxfordshire and still surrounded by livestock farms, the prosperous town of Chipping Norton was first given its name in the 13th century, when it was a thriving centre of the wool trade. The word chipping being the medieval term for market. The town continued to thrive, and in the 17th century, a successful businessman named Henry Cornish had a row of picturesque almshouses built for 8 poor widows, and they remain a well-known local landmark. Today, Chipping Norton is home to several antique dealers, including one that's new to Drew and hidden away from passers-by. It's tucked away behind an old family business, run by Dominic Oliveri.
Well, the house is a family house, and I didn't want to change the house into flats, so we decided to put the antique furniture collection in situ. I've made it look as if you're going into an Elizabethan or 17th century mansion, if you like, but it's not. It's an old house, but not a 17th century mansion. I really love 17th century. Even 16th century is even better if I can get a 16th century furniture as a gift. I'm looking forward to seeing Drew and T, and I hope he's in a buying mood and got plenty of money in his pocket.
This is the place?
Sure, this is the place.
Yeah. Hello.
Afternoon.
How you doing? Drew.
Nice to see you.
How are we doing? You all right?
All right, nice to see you, T.
I remember these places.
I've clearly not been in one for a while either.
I've had a bit of a go yesterday. What do you think?
Looks brilliant.
Really?
Looks brilliant, yeah. Do you want a job?
We've been told you've got antiques to look at.
Come this way.
Ah, OK, I see.
Aha, through the secret door.
Wow. So, I mean, barbering, haircutting, antiques.
Yes.
It's not...
It's not the norm, is it?
No.
No, it's not the norm. But it's,
Oh, wow.
They're equally cutthroat, though, aren't they?
Well, I didn't expect that.
No. Everyone says that.
What a place. It's like entering Narnia. It's a totally different world. He's done it really well. I really like it. You're instantly transported. You are not in a barbershop in the Cotswolds. You are in the 16th century. It's really good. Now, that's beautifully done.
Thank you.
That's so good.
It all blends in, doesn't it?
Yeah,
That's
so I mean,
that's
where
what I wanted to do.
does the interest, because this is a really specialist field, so where does this come from then?
I've always loved oak, and I've always loved the early 17th century, 16th century, and it's developed into this, you know.
So how long have you been dealing?
About 30-odd years.
Have you really?
35, yeah.
And still
35.
cutting hair as well?
Yeah. I'm still cutting
Just
hair
because?
now, because it's a family business, and I love doing it.
If you're going out to buy antiques for the day, if you wake up in the morning and you finish work on a Friday, you wake up Saturday morning, I'm going to go and buy some antiques, it has to be a spectacle, you know, it has to be a joy, it has to be something you're going to remember. For what he does, and the style of furniture and decoration and pieces that he sells and art and carvings, he set the scene, and he's just nailed it.
This is a wine cellar that used to be.
Smells good in here.
Musty.
Yeah, no, I like it.
I know. It's that dealer's smell, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that. It's nice. What about this?
That's 280, and it's as heavy, and it will hold a massive marble bust on it, or a figure even.
I like that too.
Nice colour.
Love the colour. We're now in this, well, it's like a catacomb, isn't it, cellar? And there's a few things, actually, that catch my eye straight away. One big, a lovely but really badly damaged vase. But it stood on a sculpture stand.
Have a look at it, Drew. I've never seen that one. Have you seen that similar
I've
to
had
that,
this
then?
exact model before.
really?
Identical, absolutely identical, yeah.
The last one I bought of these was a long time ago, and it was for a treadle saw.
Yeah, that sounds...
So that's what they
that
were
makes
using. And that's why I was
sense.
just looking here if all the stretchers were there, which is unusual because the other one had a high stretcher on one point where your leg would go in. I've had two of these before and I stupidly sold them. Because things like this, if you're selling lots of bronzes and marble and carved stone and anything figurative at all, if you put it on a stand in the photography area and photograph it for your website, it looks better. It just adds value.
This stand would have originally been used in a carpentry workshop to mount a foot-operated treadle saw, a tool of the trade which was popular in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Today, its simple, timeless design, paired with the patina from 100 years of wear and tear, have made it the perfect piece for Drew. It could be worth around £400.
200 quid. I've got to ask.
Today, Drew's at an unusual address in the Cotswolds, visiting a barber-cum-antique dealer, Dominic Oliveri.
Well, I didn't expect that.
No. Everyone says that.
What a place.
He's trying to get a deal on an old stand for a foot-operated saw.
200 quid. I've got to ask.
Do 240.
240.
That's it.
Sold. Thank you very much.
Thank
I'll take
you.
it. Purely because I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
I'm going to use it.
I was
I've got
gonna
some
use it here,
statues
but-
coming in and they're going to look great on
Yeah.
top of there. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, my carriers don't like bringing stuff down here because it's,
I
you
can
know...
tell. I can see why. What's that worth? It's just a broken old pot, isn't it? Or are you going to tell
It
me
is
it's something?
really.
It's a bit battered, but, you know, it's got fishes on the top. It's just a Italianate type of little... I'm assuming it's Italian.
Well, it is broken, but, I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be 50 quid.
Looks better already.
I really like it. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? £40.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Much appreciated. A tenner's a tenner. And I really, I just,
That's your petrol money.
I wonder if it's going to, I'm going to wonder if it's going to make it home. I just absolutely love the colour. Little battered urn, it's just a beautiful little thing. I love it. So, is it worth £40? For all the joy I'll get out of it when I see it, yes, it is. So, yeah, great. I love this place. The painting behind you, the young lady.
I've only just got it, to be honest, so it's going to be 280.
Okay.
As a quick profit.
Can see it off the wall. Can I have a look?
Can you?
Don't mind. So we step into another wonderful little room, and there's one thing immediately that strikes me. It's a very naive, simple little painting of a young girl sat next to an arch. And there's just something about it.
Love her face.
Sweet, isn't it?
I'd always take them out of the frames, but that one looks like it's been in there an awful long time.
It matches everything, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Doesn't...
colour, everything's
Yeah.
dead right.
Have a look at the back of it. It's dead right. All the nails are right, and the timber and everything is absolutely right. They've been together, I think, probably forever, those two. And I think for the last 200 and something years, they've been quite happily together, and she's just really charming.
This young girl with her ringlets, bonnet and high-waisted dress is wearing a fashion that was all the rage in the early 19th century. Inspired by ancient Greece and Rome, it's a style made famous by the novels of Jane Austen, whose work started to be published at around this time. Painted on canvas and in its original frame, this naive oil painting could be worth around £580.
Do you see how there's half an arch there?
Yeah.
She's like a half sprog. She's not a fully legitimate child, I don't think. Or she's a half sister. I think that's what
So
they
how
did.
is that what that's about?
They did that
Really?
in half suns and half moons and all sorts of stuff, and it was all about inheritance of the sun. And anyway,
Never knew that.
I'm just learning about it now, so I could be wrong, but it's interesting nonetheless, isn't it?
Yeah.
I really like her. 280 sold. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
It's just there's something about it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Just got that
Yeah,
thing. It's just
and-
looking right at you. £280. Well, of course I'm going to buy that. I thought he was going to say £480, and that's what I think it's worth. Maybe £580. It's really charming. Right, so I think we'll gather up our belongings.
Yes.
And we'll get out your hair.
Oh, oh my
That's
God.
so bad. Yeah. Right, thank you.
Thank you.
So today, a barber shop in the Cotswolds with an antique shop at the back of it. Well, I think it's the way forward. You know, this business, there's no rules. You can do it your way. And Dominic clearly is. He's doing it exactly how he wants to, dealing in what he loves. And I think the showroom is testament to his love of the job, and all power to him. And he's a really thoroughly nice bloke too. Right, sorted.
Good job.
That was fun.
Thank you very much.
Nice to see you. And
Yeah.
hopefully come again.
Yeah, will do. Take
Yeah,
care, Dominic.
nice to see you.
See you.
Look
Bye-bye.
after yourself. Thank you.
It's been great meeting Drew and T. He was surprised what it looked like, and he says he's never seen anything like it, which is very unusual for him to say.
That was good. Very good. And unsurprisingly, I didn't have a haircut.
Not me.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just jealous because you can grow hair and I can't. I really liked him. What a lovely man. And I was very happy with what we bought. Do you know what I really like? I really love that little blue vase. If that gets back in one piece, I'll be a monkey's uncle, I tell you. It's just...
Yes.
I'll be
I have
staggered.
double wrapped it, but
Yeah.
I'm not guaranteeing anything.
I know. And then that painting, the little tiny oil on canvas of the young girl, it's got a slight magical quality to that I really love. Really love that. I am very, very pleased. And I'm really glad we found another dealer.
To stay one step ahead of the pack, Drew always keeps an open mind about where he goes looking for unlikely gems. Keeping his stock fresh and interesting is the name of the game, and today he's visiting another new and unusual source. The boys are travelling 150 miles northwest to one of Britain's most famous ports.
Okay, T, we're in Liverpool today. We're off to Toxteth to meet a guy called Ben who works for Crisis UK. Crisis are the homeless charity. I think homelessness is one of those things which, you know, we can solve in this day and age. And that is the first time I've used in this day and age at my age. Is this the start of a...
Well, the old man noises started a while back.
Is this the start of a pattern now?
And you know what will happen? The next section will be, you'll be start a sentence with, I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you something.
Yeah. I don't mean to be funny, right, but...
Liverpool has a long history as one of Britain's most important ports. It expanded rapidly in the 18th century, becoming rich on imports and exports, and profiting from the triangular slave trade with Africa and the Americas. By the time the Albert Dock was built in 1846, an extraordinary 40% of all global trade came through Merseyside. Located in Toxteth, southeast of the city centre, Furniture from Crisis is a not-for-profit social enterprise that supplies restored furniture to Crisis's charity shops in London. It's run by 25-year-old Ben Lunt.
Although we're a business, we work to fully raise funds for charity. We restore a range of mid-century and antique pieces that we sell through our shops down in London, as well as online. I've always been interested in design, always interested in fixing things and just having a bit of a fiddle. So guess I have the dream job that I just get to muck about and fix stuff all day whilst trying to do something nice. With Drew coming, you know, it'd be lovely for him to drop a fat wad on Crisis, give us a good bit of money, but at the same time, you know, we do try and make ourselves as an authentic antiques dealer as what we do, that we don't want to take the mickey, but if he's got any cash, it'd be lovely to have.
Hello.
All right.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
How's it going?
All right, thanks. All right, all right. Thanks for having us. Let's have a look inside.
Have a little look, yeah.
Bit of restoration going on. That's work, that, Drew. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
So yeah, come in, have a little bit of a look around.
So, I mean, where does all this stuff come from?
We work a little bit differently than other charities because we don't take donations. We work basically on a buy-in basis, so we go to house clearance places, auctions, you name it. This is probably exactly the same places as you do, really.
That's completely different to what I thought it was.
Yeah.
I just thought people would bowl up here, donate everything to you, and you'd sell it. They've got volunteers coming in here who are learning how to do jobs, and let's be perfectly honest, if you can give somebody a job and say, this is what you can do and make them feel valued and make them feel part of a community and do good with it, that's a damn good thing to do with yourself. And you're also fixing something up which will go on, have another life and create money. It's a win-win situation for a very, very good cause. Where did you get that? Late George III, English, circular tilt-top, pedestal-based dining table, nice.
We got that from a dealer that didn't want to fix it at the time. It's got a few little hiccups that we've sorted some, but not all. And the flip top with it's all still in good nick as well.
Have you still got all the brackets underneath it?
Still cracking on.
That's really nice.
It's lovely, isn't it?
This is a really,
Great
that's
hand.
a really, really good, that's better than normal, that one. I shouldn't really ask, we don't usually ask, but what did you pay for it? And what are you going to try and get for it?
Well, I think we paid just under 200 for it.
Yeah.
And I'd be looking to sell it for maybe 250-ish.
Okay, you're not making much money there.
I know, but I'm trying to be good. I'm trying
Yeah, no, but
to wheel you in with a bargain.
Yeah, no, but that's not a bargain. You're giving it away. I mean, you could get more for that. With all the work done, and you do need to do the work.
Yes.
The top does need refinishing.
Yeah.
You're looking at a sort of £800 table.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you should try and get. So even if you lessen your expectations and say 450, you're going to get that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Interesting. So that's a great chair. I never get tired of buying these chairs, you know? One of the most comfortable chairs you'll ever buy.
That's good. Yeah,
Aren't they great, you know? So what will you sell that for?
About 160.
It's a very good price. One of the best chairs you can buy for your money is a type that's generically called a smoker's bow. So these were late 18th century, early 19th century, and onwards, they're still being made today, armchairs that you would, in the old days, in the 70s and 80s, every pub was full of them. They're very, very comfortable chairs, and the quality of them is very, very important in your decision to purchase one. Let's carry on looking around.
Yes.
What you're doing is a good thing. So in here, obviously, I mean, it's fairly obvious there's that I want to buy.
Yep.
So nice, 1227 model, all correct, all the bits on there.
Yeah, you went a bit train spottery there, True. Yeah,
Did I?
14863.
It's the 1227
flange
model,
chain.
but it's actually about the third or fourth iteration of that model where things did become, they mainly changed the shade, size, and then perforation, type of lip, scale, and then obviously the different fixings here. But this is the spring configuration that you would, that's the one you want to buy. Go into one of the side rooms, and right in front of me is Anglepoise desk lamp, Herbert Terry. It's not a really early one, but it's not a late one. It's got all the bits you want on it. It's the correct amount of springs on it. It hasn't got any plastic on it, and it's the best colour, in my opinion, black. Is that for sale?
It can be for sale, yes.
How much would you like for that?
Well, how much would you pay for it?
It's not in bad condition. It's got one dent there. I'm scuppered today, aren't I? Because it's charity and I've got to pay more. I've got to pay more. I buy rough ones for 50 quid, and we buy nice ones like that. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Oh God, I'm gonna have to pay more than I like to now.
Just pay as normal.
No, I can't.
You don't want to go that low.
Because then you can come back again and then you pay more.
No, I think you're doing a good thing, and I want you to carry on. I want you to carry on doing what you're doing. 120?
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Without the dent, 150.
You put that dint in it then as well.
I did not do that dent. I did not. That was in it. 120
No, fantastic,
sold.
yeah.
These lights, again, it's one of those things that you can put into any interior because they're handy and they look good. They span all sort of areas of design, again, because they just fall into that piece where it's just a good piece of design that looks good, whatever you do with it. But they also go into modern interiors, bedside lamps, offices, hallways. There's nothing you can't do with them, but you want to buy a good one, and there's a big difference between them. I must admit, I'm drawn back to that chair. I'd be interested in that chair.
Yeah.
And these here, tell me about where you got these from.
Yes.
Because that one's too far gone.
Yeah.
But where did you get these, and have you done your homework on them?
They are from the ICI chemical works in Runcorn.
Yeah.
When they've kind of decommissioned that. That's all I know.
It's got a little bit. Have you heard of a guy called Ernest Race?
No?
You might have something by him there.
Okay.
Or definitely in the manner of as well, because I had some of these chairs. So that one could be Race.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, it could be.
In its heyday in the 1970s, the ICI chemical factory in Runcorn employed 6,000 people, and this chair would probably have been in use at that time. It's made in the style of Ernest Race's BA3 chair, which he designed in 1945, when raw materials like timber needed for furniture manufacture were in short supply. Instead, Race used salvaged metal and fabrics from the RAF, including aluminium taken from decommissioned fighter planes and old parachute silk, which he used for upholstery. Ernest Race's BA3 became one of the world's first mass-produced chairs. And this one, in the style of Race, could be worth around £200.
It's got all the sort of design cues for that late 50s, early 60s,
Yeah.
English, the round tapering leg. I don't think it's quite got the finesse
Yeah.
of his stuff, but it's got enough about it
Yeah.
to make it interesting. You know. So what would you sell me that today for?
If we were to sell it sort of at a retail level, we'd maybe be looking for like 50, 60 quid once it's sorted out.
Okay.
Nothing, not gonna change the world, but it's got a nice look. If it has got a designer, that obviously would impact that. But if at a trade price, instead of 50, 60, could go 40, 50.
Drew and T are visiting Ben Lunt at the Furniture from Crisis workshop in Liverpool.
Hello. All right.
Hello.
Bit of restoration going on. That's work, that, Drew. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
And a mid-century chair in the style of Ernest Race has caught Drew's eye.
At a trade price, instead of 50, 60, could go 40, 50.
Now I can give you 40 quid for it now.
Yeah, that'd
You happy with that?
That'd be fantastic,
You'll take
yeah.
40 pounds?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'll
Thank
take
you.
that. There's a little tubular steel chair down there, which has got just a hint of a very good designer called Ernest Race. He was one of the better English designers, one of the first to really get this and then mass produce it correctly with some style. This guy did it well, really, really well. And anything by Race should be kept for now. It's not worth huge amounts of money, but it's just really good. And there's enough about that chair to buy it, and for £40, we'll give it a go.
I think that side's a false draw, other side's
Yeah.
a real draw.
Okay. These are bone handles. So where did this come from?
We got this from the same guy as your flip-top table over there.
Yeah.
We've restored the top, not done too much to the rest of the legs and things. Had quite a few cup rings on it. It was a bit like the Olympics logo, and here we are.
It's nice. It's you know, it's a very simplistic piece of furniture. It's never going to be worth a load of money, but it's still nice.
Yeah.
Still got enough going for it. There is a little drop leaf table. Not in bad condition at all, and it has remarkably good casters. That's like getting a quite good car and putting very expensive wheels on it. That's what that is. But they are original. So there's a lot going for that table, an awful lot. I don't think my legs will look that good. They don't look that good now.
Get
Okay.
sanded
Don't
down.
put yourself, don't put yourself down.
No, I don't need to put myself down. That's his job.
We'll get a sander on your legs when we get back.
There's a queue for that, don't worry. But yeah, so it needs a lock.
Yeah.
That's all right.
A classic piece of English furniture, this space-saving mahogany drop-leaf table with fruitwood banding dates to around 1840. With its built-in drawer and bone handles, it's in good condition and could be worth around £395.
So this table and that chair, if I bought both of those, what could you do? How much did you want for that one?
If we say, I think we said 160 before.
Yeah.
So if we, I'd say about maybe 150 for that.
Look, tell you what, I'll give you that.
Fantastic, thank you very much. That's great, cheers.
Well, no, it's fine. It's going to a very good cause. I don't want to knock you.
Yeah.
That's fine. So we do a deal on a couple of things, but the table turns out to be 150. That's fine. Once back to our workshop, we'll refinish the top correctly with a nice oil wax finish. What's it worth then? About 380 to 395 all day long. Not a lot of money for a piece of beautiful, classic English furniture. Let's get it loaded up.
Excellent. Let's look at the van.
More than happy with that, mate. Lovely.
Great, thank you
Brilliant
very much.
Stuff, yeah. It's been a good day. We've bought some fun things that we're going to make some money on, and we've seen a completely new way of how to make a charity work. It's great. On every level, I think they've sort of nailed it, really. It's a good way of doing it. They're not dealing with all of the sort of tat that people want to get rid of, you know, people turning up with vans full of rubbish. You don't need that. They're being way more selective. That selective method means they're going to make real profit on the pieces that they sell and teach people stuff along the way. So it's a sort of win-win-win situation. Okay,
Yeah,
all sorted. Ben, thank you very much for today.
No worries, thank you very much.
A worthy cause, and we're very happy to associate it in some small part anyway.
Thank you very much.
All right, cheers.
All right,
Bye.
cheers. See you later. Obviously, what we do is slightly different to a lot of other charities, the fact that we buy everything in and teaching skills as well as the social impact, as well as the monetary income that it creates. We're buzzing with the way that it's gone, really enjoyed it, really happy. You know, at the end of the day, I know Drew's going to go and make more money, but that's fantastic. I'd rather sell it today. We've still made money for the charity. That's everything's benefited there. And if he can make some money on the way, that's just the circle of life.
There we go. Well, that was good.
It was excellent.
Enjoyed that. What a worthy charity, getting people off the streets. It's a good thing. Just to do a good thing must be nice. To do a good thing every day must be nice.
Yes, very rewarding for the people who work there.
Yeah, definitely. Really interesting day. So we didn't buy a lot of things, but what I did buy, easily saleable.
Yes.
Tables, chairs. If I can't sell them, I might as well pack it in. But yeah, we'll be back, and Ben's got our number now, so potential for other business.
The boys' final and most unusual house call might just be worth its salt. Drew knows from long experience that you never know where you'll come across the next design gem. Only a stone's throw from Conwy, they're travelling 25 miles along the North Wales coast to a Welsh salt factory on the Isle of Anglesey.
We're off to see Halen Morn. It's a very modern facility, so they're obviously taking salt out of the water in the Menai Straits, something that's been done for a couple of 100 years or more. But yeah, I've never been to a salt factory.
What sort of antiques would be in the salt factory then?
I don't know, but we're going to see the guy there who runs the company, and he's got some outbuildings there he wants to clear.
Anglesey is separated from the mainland by a narrow sea channel called the Menai Strait. To reach the island, the boys have to cross one of the most iconic bridges in Britain. Designed by Thomas Telford and completed in 1826, the Menai Bridge was the first iron suspension bridge in the world. Because it's a protected area of conservation, the seawater in the Menai Strait is pristine, making it perfect for producing extremely high-quality sea salt, an industry that goes back to Roman times. The boys have been invited to the Halen Morn Salt Factory by its founder, David Lee Wilson.
I've been running Anglesey Sea Salt, or Halen Morn, as it's known, for over 25 years now. I started as a fishmonger, then started a public aquarium next door, and then out of that came the sea salt. I suppose I've got a bit of a problem that I don't like throwing things away, and even when I've hired a skip, I find myself taking stuff out of it because it might be useful. And I've been sitting on stuff in sheds behind the sea salt, and I keep putting things in, and I don't often take things out. So this is a rare opportunity to go into my secret sheds.
Hello, morning.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Welcome to Halen Morn, Croeso.
Thank you very much for having us.
Come in. behind the scenes is the first shed where I made sea salt and many other sheds, and I'm a bit of a hoarder.
I want to see
if I'm
those.
honest.
Yes.
Right,
Please.
let's go and see what we can find. Right, do you want to come into the milking parlour?
Yep.
So this is where I store things that I either like, love, or finished with.
OK. It does look a little bit like you've been burgled.
One of those fridge chairs there, Drew.
You what, sorry?
You don't see them fridge chairs very often, do you?
That's a nursing chair. You don't throw anything away?
I'm not very good at throwing things away. I've got 6 chairs that I couldn't make as a woodworker.
No.
They're too skilled.
Yeah.
Do they appeal to you?
No.
What do you call that kind of chair?
Well,
I need to
unsaleable. We are now in some of the outbuildings, the barns. We always end up here. It's just how it is, and I'm never going to complain. I'm never going to complain because the things you find in these places can be remarkable.
How about...
I do like these. How many of these have you got?
I've only got that one.
They just make great doorstops, don't they?
They do. It's been a doorstop at the sea salt for some time.
Ah, OK.
What was it originally?
They're for hanging off the side of boats. It's the same as
so
a
it was
buoy.
a fender?
Yeah, that's a fender,
Okay.
so they don't bang against the door.
Right.
That's what it's for.
But it would have taken somebody hours to knot that.
Yeah.
I mean, or days.
Yeah, but they had the time. The rope fender is just a good piece of, well, in some ways, it's a little bit of folk art, isn't it? But it's also extremely attractive to the eye. So if you've got a nice country house and you want a doorstop and you live by the sea, wallop, that will do you.
Made of coiled and knotted rope, fenders like this were handmade by boatmen. Each one would have been subtly different, depending on the type of rope used, and have taken hours to make. Around 100 years old, this fender is made of coir and could be worth around £150.
What do you want for the fender?
What are you offering for the fender?
I don't know, I've never bought one.
In any haggle, everyone wants to get the first price in.
Right,
You want to know
50
mine,
quid.
and 50 quid?
Yeah.
If you're talking 150, we're in business.
Right, OK. The maximum I'll go to is 75, so we're only going to get to half of what you want and more than I want to spend. So it's about the perfect deal.
Drew Pritchard is visiting the sheds out the back of a salt factory on Anglesey, not far from his Conwy base.
You don't throw anything away?
I'm not very good at throwing things away.
It does look a little bit like you've been burgled.
And so far, the only thing he spotted that he'd like to buy is an old knotted boat fender.
If you're talking 150, we're in business.
Right, OK. The maximum I'll go to is 75, so we're only going to get to half of what you want and more than I want to spend. So it's about the perfect deal.
Well, you've got to find your day is worth something.
Yeah. And it is
Call
damaged.
it 80 and we're done.
Well, I'm not going to argue over a fiver, so yes, we'll take it.
OK.
David's no fool. He wants all the money for everything. It's the sort of thing I'd want to pay 20 quid for, end up paying, I think, was it £80, I think I paid for it? I mean, it's madness. But it's a first buy. We're here. Let's just get some money changing hands and see what happens.
Right, come into this old shed.
OK.
Thank you. Right, and behind this big old door is a bread and cheese cupboard in the corner.
Right.
Barakhouse.
Cupboard Barakhouse. These are one of the easiest things, right, in the antiques world to identify.
Are they?
Yeah, yeah, because
As opposed to this, which is one of the hardest.
Was a pig bench.
Damn. I thought I was going to show Drew something.
It's my
and this
job.
hole was for holding the head, presumably, when it was debristled.
I should imagine so, yeah.
Well, that's my understanding.
It's, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. No, you've got to go a bit further than that to fool me, I'm afraid.
OK.
It's,
right, I can't teach an antique store anything.
So that one there, these are great little things, right? So these were only made in that sort of style in 4 counties. So you've got Anglesey, Denbighshire, Carnarvonshire, Merionethshire. Generally oak with pine into the sides there. They're dated, so it's the last vestiges of the Regency period, but they've got nothing to do with the Regency style, so about 1820. Oak front, quite nice. So today, we're looking at the moment, we're not looking at being able to buy much. I mean, this happens. You might do 10 house calls before you buy one thing. You know, they're not all, you know, the gold rush. But then there is something I immediately recognise and expect to find in North Wales, because it's a cupboard barrack house. So that's a bread and cheese cupboard. It is very particular to North Wales. This one has got paint still on the sides, which is also rarely seen, but correct. Bracket feet, very simplistic, but has a real charm to it.
The characteristic grille in the upper doors of this traditional North Wales bread and cheese cupboard allowed airflow for food storage. Around 200 years old, its construction and style indicate it was almost certainly made by the Williams family of Tallern, Anglesey. It could be worth around £2,000.
It's not bad at all. Where did you get it from?
I got it from a local farmer, so it's probably made on Anglesey.
Yeah, that would be about right. So, it's worth 2,000 quid in perfect condition. I can give you one price for it, it would be £1,500. So it gives me a margin after some work and tax. That's where I'm at with it. Okay. So I don't know how long you've had it, but I don't know, you might be...
I've probably had it 20 years.
So you're doing all right?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No.
Oh.
Well, there's a premium for love and patina and quality.
Do you know how much that's worth?
And the story you will tell
Nothing.
of it's had children's games in for the last...
Zero. Nothing.
I think if you were approaching 1,800, we'd be there.
It's not worth me doing. There's no money in it. There's no
probably
money
some.
There's
probably
nothing.
Some.
There's nothing.
I think 1750 and like that.
If it was 30, 40 years older, then we'd be in a different league, but we're not. 1750 sold. We'll take it. That's fine.
OK, I can live with that.
Thank you. It does have that wonderful time-worn patina to the entire thing. It's never been touched. A lot of antique dealers, still today, get things like that. They'll sand them down, polish them to death, take all handles off, get the old brasso out, polish them to death as well, put it back up and go, look at that, isn't it beautiful? No, it's not. You've ruined it. You're a fool. Look what you've done. And it's nice to find one that's had nothing really done to it.
Before they leave, the boys are keen to have a look around the salt factory and learn about a process that dates back at least 2,000 years.
Before we actually go in, we've got to make sure no hair ends up in the salt.
OK.
So hairnet, overshoe, beer snoods. Three things, and then we put on a coat.
Do I need a hairnet?
I'll be on the safe side.
Really?
Let's just give you a big beard snood.
OK.
OK, you will need a coat.
Right, OK. Thank you. Oh, I do like one of these. It feels like you've got a job. Do you know what I mean? Like you feel like we've got a proper job.
Have you ever had tea in a hairnet and beard snood before?
Only at the weekends. Yeah. Right then. I'm feeling salty. Let's do it.
Right, come into the heart of my sea salt operation.
Righto, so this is where the magic happens.
This
wow,
is
it's
where-
hot in here.
Naturally filtered seawater is first boiled in a vacuum, and then the brine is released into these shallow crystallization tanks until the sea salt crystals form, ready for harvesting.
How long does it take to get from that to that?
Well, it's 24 hours from that, and we've harvested once early this morning.
Okay.
And you can see the salt crystals just beginning to form on the surface.
So obviously this is seawater.
Yep, this is concentrated seawater.
From the sea there.
Yep, so we pay the Queen for this seawater, the Crown Estates.
Yeah.
And we pipe it, evaporate it, and it goes into this very sterile environment, which is why you're wearing this attractive beard snood, because you don't want to find a hair in the salt wherever you're buying it.
They've been taking salt out of the Menai Straits since Roman periods and probably before. They're keeping up that tradition. They're doing a beautiful job of it. The salt is exported around the world. So we have a very prestigious Welsh company here, which we're all very proud of. So a good day, didn't have to go very far, seen a new process, bought a couple of things. Not every day is gravy, you know, not every day you're winning the lottery, you're really not. You have to do the hard yards and buy where you can and take your profits wherever they are. But a good day nonetheless.
I suppose the most interesting thing for me is the value people place on things. So there's stuff there that I've got emotional value with, and Drew probably doesn't share that emotional value, so we couldn't agree on a lot of things. And probably that's why I've got a shed full of junk.
So we went to Anglesey, to a salt factory, and bought a piece of Welsh common vernacular furniture.
it might be the first time it's ever been off the island.
Wow. Has it got its passport?
Yeah. No, it's great. Really, really good. Just need to find some bread and cheese now.
Yeah. Should we stop and get some on the way back?
Yes, please.
A few days later, and with her curiosity piqued by the boat fender Drew bought at Hallen Moorn, Rebecca has travelled to the heart of Britain's canal network in Northamptonshire to find out more.
I'd like to know the history of fenders and how you actually make them.
Pete Flockhart has been hand-making rope fenders for 30 years.
This is wonderful. And the smell of rope is just like knockout.
Yeah, I mean, fenders have been made in this building. It's an old forge, an old blacksmith's forge, and they've been made in here for 70 years or so.
Can I show you?
Yeah.
Our fender, which Drew bought in Anglesey.
Ah, OK. Well, I'm not surprised it was somewhere like Anglesey, because it's made of coir fibre, which is used more in salt water than you would see round here. This one will almost certainly have been made abroad in tropical countries where...
Were they?
Yeah, where
Right.
coir and coconut were their ready usable fibres to use. They used coir because it's really good at sort of, it'll take the water on and it'll repel the water out, so without rotting as badly as some other natural fibres, yeah.
So what's actually inside there?
Well, inside there, believe it or not, it will have started from an eye like this. An eye would have been formed in the rope. There'd have been a knot tied in the middle, and it would have been wrapped to make a ball shape and then covered over with this jacket of hitching.
Right, this is a jacket.
Yes, I can show you the method. Basically, it's a different shaped fender, but the jacket covering on this is the same. The principle's the same. So the way that fender would be made, I use a spike.
So you're sort of knitting a jacket.
Correct.
Around your coiled centre. So how long would it take you to do a ball fender from scratch?
From scratch? I think I would probably hitch one of those over in 3 or 4 hours.
OK.
It would be a passed-down skill, like fishermen would have made their own, but you would probably have one particular fisherman that would be well known for doing it in a particular area.
You're a rarity now. I mean, these traditional skills are just...
Getting lost, aren't
They're
they?
getting lost, but, you know, just meeting you is fantastic. So,
that's really nice of you to say,
yeah.
Simon.
Today has been a treasure, actually, to see a traditional craft still continuing in the UK. It's not just a piece of old rope. This has got history, and it's got provenance.
After a week crisscrossing the country, finding unusual and desirable items at a series of unlikely locations, Drew is delighted with his haul.
So, what a week. I've been to a salt factory in Anglesey. I've been to a barber shop with a fantastic antique shop in the back of it, and I've been to a charity. You know, we've been to 3 really varied places that you really wouldn't expect to ever find anything, but we did. And that's the beauty of this business. Get in your car, get on the train, get on your bike, walk, and go and have a look. You just might find something.